Brown regathers for Quebec. Turns it over to Järvi. Järvi has Poddubny moving. Working on Desjardins. Centering pass for Poddubny. He scores! Walt Poddubny. Credit that one to Duchesne. Gaetan Duchesne, just 32 seconds into the first period.
Wow, if there's one thing that can take this Montreal crowd out of it is a quick goal. What a feed from Järvi, but the whole key is they were able to gain the blue line, Mike. Watch this. There goes Järvi wide, and you can see that is Eric Desjardins, number 28, the rookie, the 19-year-old kid who is on defense for Montreal, backed in. He cheated a little bit, gave Järvi the blue line, and that man had a trigger-like release. He picked it up on his backhand, turned it to his forehand. I think he beat Brian Hayward right between.
Met by Moeller. Flips one that Charbonneau was unable to play because of the checking of Jari Granstrand. Jeff Jackson starts ahead. The trailer on the play is Gillis. Jackson with a shot, deflected wide. Rebound, they score! Paul Gillis, and it is 2-0 Quebec. 1 minute and 28 seconds into the first period.
Woo-hoo. Well, the guys in white are seeing all the blue they want. This shot goes wide. I'm not sure that it wasn't deflected wide, but one thing is for certain. If it doesn't miss the net, Gillis doesn't get the rebound. Jackson shoots, it goes off a skate. Good play by Paul Gillis, 23. He simply scoots by 24 in white. That was Chris Chelios. Perfect example. If you put your head down and drive for the net, you never know what you're going to find when you get there.
Feeds Corson over on the wing. Corson checked, though, by Randy Moeller. Puck squibs over to Thibodeau. Worked back along for Richer, trying to get away from Granstrand. Does save. Rebound. Oh, and that one couldn't find its way in, and Granstrand is able to pin it. The one goal for Quebec and Gillis the other. They were 58 seconds apart and very early in the game. That's where we stand now at 2-0. 11 minutes, 30 seconds to
play. Look at that.
They score! It seems so routine.
It was routine. It was a routine dump around by Peter Swoboda. He could work on this all career long and never be able to do it in practice. Look at it, hits a rib in the glass. And Bob Mason went behind the net to get it. I've never seen one of those quite like that, ever. I've seen ricochets that goalies lose, but you know what makes this one so strange, Mike? It's a darn sharp angle. It only has a few inches to clear the short post before it catches the long post. So there's a gift goal to get Montreal back in the game. Nicely executed, Peter. Long bank into the far pot.
Virtually no Quebec attack, almost from the time that they got their second goal. But here comes one. Järvi with a shot. Pad stop made by Hayward.
Good save by Hayward. As soon as
wraps it around for Anton Stastny. Had Cote breezing in front, but was preoccupied with Canadiens checking. Green checked once more. Anton Stastny trying to hook it free. Puck dropped on back and tapped to Sakic. Sakic has a man in front. Granstrand, he scores! 3-1 Quebec.
It's going to be a strange night, Mike. Very strange. Remember the goal that Gillis got coming off the boards beside Hayward? And then Swoboda scored. Watch this one go off the stick of number 28, or the skate of number 28, young Eric Desjardins, who's really been victimized early in this game. It'll be interesting to see how his confidence holds up. See if we can get a look at it. Right off a Montreal skate into the long side, just inside the post. Look out, the Gremlins are here tonight. You might as well try and direct everything you got at the net. You never know if you're going to get a lucky bounce.
Madison Square Garden is a play.
And play decisive enough in Montreal's end.
You know, yesterday at the practice, they were out for a while and they weren't doing the drills the proper way, and Burns was really getting steam. He pulled them off the ice and away from the reporters, took them back into the locker room for some correction. Here is Charbonneau on a breakaway. Score!
That'll have Ron LaPointe popping Rolaids right away. I just talked about Quebec having enough goals to win. What do? They commit a huge error, and Charbonneau goes in. Look at Naslund, number 25, trailing number 26. Charbonneau could have passed it back. That was a 2-on-none. Charbonneau actually grazed the post on a real nice play. And the man that made the play was right there. Bobby Smith really knew what was happening behind him. And Charbonneau makes absolutely no...
Breaking in the pass, tipped behind him by Sakic. Picked up by Brown, lost to Robinson, and he sent it over the cage. This is Smith, over to Naslund. tries for Bobby Smith. It's broken down. 3 seconds left on the power play. Naslund, nice yank pass to Svoboda. Drive, pad stop made by Mason. Rebound, Naslund, side of the net, score! Bobby Smith and the Canadiens are back to within one.
The power play had ended, and Mats Naslund makes the play to Bobby Smith. The key was Peter Svoboda here, just getting the shot on net. Watch the rebound that Bob Mason leads. That thing comes back out like a rocket. Who's there to get it? Naslund. Smith made a great play, too. He didn't stay in front of the net. Once he saw the rebound come out, he pulled away to try and get into the open, and he was wide open when Naslund
Pops it in deep. Bobby Smith goes back. Lecision there. Smith pressing him and then trying to kick it along. Gets it to Charbonneau. It's lost, but getting it is Svoboda. Then to Charbonneau. Able to step away from that check. Out in front, Naslund. Side of the net, Smith, and he scores! Game tied at 4. In the forum are saying, yay, that wasn't a yayer either.
No, it's not bad enough that the Nordiques left one man alone right in the slot. That was Mats Naslund. Bobby Smith was perfectly parked. Very difficult to step 10 feet to the side of the net where Smith is. See him there? He's 8 to 10 feet to the side. It's a real tough place to defend against because you're out of position for defending in front of the net. So Smith was well positioned, but Mats Naslund really...
And Bobby Smith. Big drive. Oh, and that kicked right back out again. Desjardins really has a gun from back there. It is Naslund. Back for Desjardins once more. Slams one in front. Pad stop. Rebound. Hit the post. That came from Bobby Smith. Sakic able to whip it back down.
Oh, look at this.
Joel Bayerjean of Quebec might be the distributor because he comes from a wrestling family.
I hadn't thought of that.
Green able to flop one that's away from Ludwig and kept by Sakic.
Then over to Anton Stastny. A minute 15. Plenty of time. Peter Stastny scores. Plenty of net. Crisp pass from Anton. And Quebec is back in front by 1.
Boy, what a seam Montreal left through their box.
They need to slide back in there. You can see the box there. See it set up, and there's a huge left-right seam there that was open for Anton to pass right through. That is one thing that you're really trying to guard against as penalty killers, is having openings where people can undress you going through the box with that pass. Anton threaded it perfectly to Peter. He even stopped it, teed it up, and then snapped a wrister up into the net. Out.
Left in the second period. Sakic had the other assist on the goal, and here's a 2-on-1 that quickly closed, and Vermette with a shot that was kicked away by Hayward. Canadiens started back. Thibodeau trying to advance, punched it by Grandstrand. Moeller battling with Thibodeau. Corson diving and making the save. Mason. As it's Chelios trying to start it back. Away from Anton Stastny, but couldn't get by Podubny. Anton Stastny over for the shot that went wide. Rebound out in front is scooped back out by Skrudland. As Gainey, Skrudland, and McPhee, the front line now for Montreal as they've made a change. Shot down by the Nordiques. And left in front, Duchesne save, rebound, score by Podubny. Incredible.
I think if Pat Burns was still a policeman, he'd have his gun drawn right now and be shooting at least in the air behind the Montreal bench. Watch this mix-up in front of Hayward. Chelios, 24, thinks that Ludwig, 17, is going to get it. And then Gaetan Duchesne actually has a shot. I didn't think Duchesne, 14 in blue, made a real good play. He had Podubny coming in, and I was thinking, man, if he passes it back to Podubny, watch Duchesne. There's Podubny coming into the picture, was able to get Duchesne's rebound, but all because of an absolute breakdown by Montreal. Montreal fans prior to Quebec's arrival in the NHL. There's one that goes across, or at least on top of the net. And now there's still a lot of Quebec people that cheer for Montreal.
Bobby Smith almost had the hat. Naslund scores! Mats Naslund. And the Canadiens are back to within 1. I wonder if what we're seeing in terms of these breakdowns isn't a reflection of early season.
I wonder if it has anything to do with our presence. Defensive teams are going to shudder when they see us walking into the building. Look at Bobby Smith, right where he's been all night. He scored 2 from there. This time they moved him out. But look at the blue carcasses lying on the ice. They can't get up. Mason goes down. He's got help from Bob Picard. You got to figure Picard made a mistake there in his judgment. He went down to try and block whatever he could. You could see that he was a sitting duck as soon as he went down, because Mason went down as well. Neither could.
Yari Gronstrand brings it back for Quebec, but it's cut off by Bobby Smith. Steps by one. Smith couldn't get it across, and a diving play made by Jeff Brown. Naslund fakes. Now a drive. That one's knocked down by Mason. Gronstrand wanting to clear, and Peter Stastny Smith. Across it comes to Charbonneau. Watched there by Finn. Charbonneau peeling behind the net. Out in front, and that one went off Mason. And we get a stoppage of play as the net dislodged. Then to Peter Stastny, along to Randy Moeller. Moeller with a drive, and that answered by Hayward. Sakic tries to penetrate but can't. Here's Peter Stastny, finessing in front. Oh, and it's loose and poked away by Charbonneau. What move? Green puck comes to Podubny. Podubny, crisp pass to Brown. Drive, and that ricocheted to Charbonneau. Rebound! Oh, and trying for the top shelf was Sakic. Back for Desjardins. Then back on to Bobby Smith. Three Canadians at the front. Watch tightly. Charbonneau can't get a centering pass away. Jeff Brown again, towering on defense. Charbonneau scoops it back to Smith for a shot that's wide. 20 seconds to go regulation time, and the puck dumped back out. Yarby racing after it, and so is Smith. Meanwhile, he hit the post as back down the ice. We see Charbonneau is cut and bleeding. 10 seconds to go. All the way down, it is wrapped by the Canadiens. If the Nordiques arrive in time, it's icing, and we have Charbonneau in an exchange with one of the Nordiques over at the Quebec bench.
Man, what a weird sequence. Charbonneau, obviously bleeding, was down on the ice. Penalty shot. Watch, right in the middle of your screen. And didn't see it.
It used to be Perron and Bergeron, and the coaches are animatedly into this one too.
Well, you know what Burns is complaining about, that Lapointe was egging on Bobby Smith and that he's causing all the problem right now. There's Lapointe, and he was just having a nice smiling conversation, sarcastically, obviously, with Bobby Smith.
And there's more. Richer now at center ice with Paul Gillis. Now the Canadiens have 6 men on the ice. Quebec has 6 as well, plus their goaltender. So Quebec with an extra right now. Being sent to the penalty box is Paul Gillis, and now that evens things up.
See, Gillis was the guy they wanted to get to because they knew he was the one that hit Charbonneau up high. So it took 59 minutes and 53 seconds, but this is about as close as we've come to the all-out battle of Quebec. Remember me mentioning at the beginning of the game that Gillis was voted by the Adams Division players as the chippiest guy? Well, you can read a lot into that term, chippy. Dirty, he'll take a cheap shot at you.
Walter got one over for the angle in by Corson. Brown fanned on it. Loose puck out in front as the siren goes to end this first battle of Quebec. After so many goals early, there were none in the last 25 and a half minutes of this contest. After a lot of penalties early, except for the final 7 seconds, just a handful in the second and third period.